And hello, Twitch. I believe in you, Twitch. You'll catch up to us eventually. So.
I'm going to refresh the page and see. Yeah, Twitch will catch up to us whenever it decides to.
Yeah, it's being special. Tonight's an interesting night. But what we've got going on at the moment is the party has made its way through the shrine successfully, escaping from the lower chambers. They found a break in the ceiling in the last chamber, which led them out to the surface. They were able to come up, gain the benefits of a long rest and a well-deserved level, and now they've got some options before them. In that same chamber where they fought the two-headed snake, there was a flight of stairs leading up to the higher levels of the temple. Now, the camp they made was at the roof of the temple, so they would walk a little bit to the east, which would be to the right on this map. We're going to pretend the map's not spun around like crazy. They would descend back down into that chamber where they fought the two-headed snake, and then take the stairs up into the levels that they're now standing on top of. Looking down at the stonework, you could maybe work your way through it and drop in from above, but it would be a lot of effort, and this place looks fairly unstable already. It looks as though at one point there was a passageway leading down over here, and you can see that there are some entrances that you would be able to make your way through, but they've long since filled with mud and other debris. It seems like the drying out of this swampland has caused the bubble of magically or otherwise entrapped gas to explode up, causing the initial collapse that drew you down into the shrine and additional damage to the lower levels. This shrine is probably not long for this world. Away to the south, you've got your hideout with the Black Dragon, where you can spend some time if you need to. You've relinquished control of it, but they're still relatively friendly to you. To the south and west, the Empire is very unfriendly. And over the break, I gave some options of things that the party may wish to pursue. So that's where I'll kind of toss it back to you. As you're waking up from your long rest, you've had the ability to resummon your familiars, things along those lines. There's still several rooms, that chamber just below you in the shrine, to investigate if you choose, or we could head off somewhere else. Take it away.
So I guess we should really start off deciding which direction do we want to go.
Agreed.
Because I know both Dullahan and Boody are preferential to going after the what is it called? Soulmonger? Yeah.
So,
Go
good.
Go on.
I was going to say, you go.
So Boody is not a fan of messing with giants, and he doesn't want to fight under a mountain. He can't fly too well, probably underneath there. But, I mean, Boody is just here to cause chaos and watch the world burn, so if you can convince him to go any direction, that's fine. Just keep moving forward. That is sort of my goal. Sorry, Casey, what were you going to say?
Nope. So what I was just going to say is, among the things that you could pursue, the Giants would recommend probably your best bet at a military might willing to go up against the Empire. They have claim to that land, so they would be troops. They would also happen to be giants, which make really good troops if you can get them on your side. Magical Might, the Soulmonger, is a device which you have heard rumor of, that a godlike being is in the midst of tinkering with, which would draw in the souls of any who die near it. Now, given that the Empire is effectively immortal by using a cloning routine, whereas all citizens have a clone ready and waiting to respawn, so even when you strike down one of their battalions, moments later that battalion is replaced. The Soulmonger would certainly throw a kink into that, but it's likely to also gain you the ire of all good and lawful type folk. Great mysteries await in the Undermountain, magical powers and other devices, and there's a few other places you could visit as well. Or you could come up with another idea, but those are the ones that rumor and speculation fly about.
So let's just make it easy for us just by eliminating things.
Mhm.
I completely understand Ash's opinion on the Tomb of Annihilation, and I think that's more like trap-oriented type stuff anyway, right? Like you're entering in an old, it's a updated old module. Well, it's not really combat-oriented. So
Well, it's fairly combat-oriented.
Okay.
It's also, if you're
Well-
in the... If you happen to be in Chult, it's a bad time all around because of the nature of the Soulmonger.
I was gonna say, like, I'm pretty sure I didn't voice an opinion on this because I don't know anything about these modules.
Okay, so the Soulmonger that you would be pursuing will not be the Death Curse, so we would not be using that as the hook. You would be getting in there a little ahead of that. So it would be a modification, but using the module as a basis for, what we'd be looking into. So basically, you would know that, hey, there's a strong necromantic artifact being created. It's rumored to prevent souls from reaching their next destination. And employing that, you could effectively take away the advantage that the Empire has cloning. You would be contending with a godlike being to get your hands on it towards the end.
Yeah.
that being said, if Ashley, you know a good deal about it, I can understand the reservations, and I'll certainly take you up on that.
Yeah.
I've run Storm King's Thunder twice. I've actually run it once from 1 to 15, and I jumped in and out of it for another prior to actually us jumping in here. So I would just stay mute for a lot of it unless we were doing stuff. So I really don't want to do that. But beyond that, I just don't care.
Yeah.
But I 100% won't take your advice. I don't want to do anything we don't have to.
I mean, we could go for the chaotic magic with the Undermountain stuff, but again, that brings up Joseph's voice again on the whole Boody wants to fly.
That's okay. Don't let Booty's flight get in the way of campaign progression. I'll manage.
Well, I mean, it looked like we all didn't have a problem with Ravenloft or the Prince's stuff.
Yeah, Princes of the Apocalypse I'm cool with. We started to try to run it, and then
Yeah,
things
right?
just got crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like revisiting that is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Put a cap on some of that stuff.
And when you say Ravenloft setting, are you talking about sticking us back in Barovia?
Yes. So
That's what I figured.
So the Ravenloft setting would be the expanded Ravenloft. So you would be contending with some of the other domains of dread that I happen to have the box set for. But Strahd would certainly be one of the targets. You would most likely be after the powers of Ravenloft to gain their blessing and try and bring that back as a influence for yourselves.
Yeah, that's seems to be to Morrigan. That sounds like replacing one government with another form of government, and she's not about that.
Very fair. So it sounds like the draw target may be the elemental powers represented by the cult and the weapons that embody them. So you do know there is a lot of commotion going on in the world. Along with this, there's said to be the Tiamat's cultists on the rise, but there's no real in for you there. They're very dedicated to their structure. You've also got the Red Wizards of Thay, which also have their structure. So they're more enemies to you than potential friends. Now, Ash, the Selenite Ash, any input for you there? Any things that you wanted to see?
I don't know any of these modules, so I'm whatever.
Okay. And it may not be the module. It can be a side quest or a target or a particular thing or power that you're looking to say, hey, if we had this, we could go after the Empire. Because right now, they have overwhelming for... What's that?
A healer.
A healer might help.
We need a healer. We really need a healer.
So that's part of the other next step is
a new friend.
I will be
you have
opening
to work
up
on this teamwork thing.
Yeah, I will be opening up for the healer. So part of that advertisement is I'd like to be able to say, hey, this is kind of what we're looking at doing, and if I can say, hey, we're kind of looking at a different take on the Temple of Elemental Evil, where we're really gunning for the treasure. Like, we want to take the power away from the cultists, but keep it.
Keep it for ourselves.
Which is totally valid. I just want to be able to present to someone that, hey, that's what we're gunning for. And what the party could really use is a Healy type of some sort. Now, since we're going to be asking around for it, we currently have a Druid and a Paladin, so we've got like the off healers. Are you guys looking for a straight up cleric?
Or Celestial Pact Warlock?
Celestial Pact Warlock? Okay.
Would be, in my opinion, awesome, because they're able to select from both the cleric and the warlock list for spell.
Okay. So if you happen to have anybody we're talking to, that's what I'll be announcing on the channel when we close this evening, is that we're looking for that. So as far as what you guys have come up with amongst yourselves is, hey, we're going to need to head north. We're going to head towards, pretty sure it's Red Larch. We'll figure out if that's the right one. Good.
Let me throw a curveball out there. I wouldn't mind necessarily if David is gonna take a break. I could respec as kind of ranger cleric, and that would, or ranger druid, and that would certainly, and I could certainly focus on healing to open this up. I don't think Dullahan would be a vampire anymore, but it would be a completely different character, right? I don't want to necessarily have to put a limit on someone coming in.
Well, and we're not going to enforce that on the people who want to join. It's just hey, this would be very nice to have. But having someone who can dish
if we do
out...
grab another person who doesn't have any heals, we'll be continuing in the same spot that we have been, where we're barely making it alive to our next rest.
Sure. Correct, but if we also have another person who is much like Selenite in the very hard to hit realm, but can dish out some decent damage, that still falls in line with effectively less healing needed because we're killing things a little bit faster.
And what we could look at doing, Craig, if you don't mind benching Dullahan for a little bit, we could leave him monitoring the Empire. I mean, he's got the, lifespan for it. And head towards that with, 2 new party members. So, I mean, don't feel that you guys are tied into the one character set. I love seeing the continuation. But if you need to be like, hey, I want to try a new angle, maybe we want to do something for party balance, certainly open to that.
Yeah, no, I kind of want to abuse Goodberry.
Okay.
And that would definitely fall into the nature type deal anyway.
Sounds good. All right. So, with that, it sounds like we've got a target, which will be some of the weapons, powers, and elemental influence that the cult has. We'll look at, as we go through that module, kind of what all you can pull in. You could definitely acquire the weapons, but the weapons are also tied to the Princes of the Apocalypse, which maybe you can gain some influence over, maybe not. See how that part plays out. But for the moment, you've got the remains of the shrine below you. And are you ready to dive back into that and claim the balance of your rewards for all your hard work? Or would you prefer to wee out?
Knight does not want to fight that fucking tree.
You can leave the tree be. There's no requirement to go back to the tree.
We can walk around the tree. This will be a fun experience regardless. We can open up all of the doors, air the place out. No more poison.
And kind of on that thought, as you're looking southward, you can see parts of the land have dropped in. So you know that some of those chambers that, as the air is coming out, as the supports are giving way, as everything's drying out and becoming more brittle, more and more things are falling. But you could go back down, or you could go up, either down to the lower levels or up to the levels that you're kind of standing on top of right now. So which way did you want to go, down or up?
Kind of had enough of down.
Yeah, I
think down is a bit of yes.
Okay. So let's talk about what you might see heading upwards. Blink. And hopefully you should see on the right-hand side of the map yourselves. And are you riding your horse in here? It's going to be a tight squeeze. Air quotes on horse.
I can leave Master Bruce outside.
Okay. If you do decide you want him, you can call for him, and I'm sure he'll come charging up. But that might be a little excessive in these tight quarters.
I'm building menagerie. I like it. My own little zoo.
Yeah. What was the name of the cat?
Oh, I do have that little stuffed cat, don't I?
You do have a little stuffed cat.
I have no idea what its name is, though. Jinx. It's called Jinx. I do have it. It's called Jinx.
You have Jinx. There we go. Jinx, the little stuffed cat. But
Question for
Yeah.
you. If I were to cast animate dead on it, would it come to life? Or are all the required bits and pieces for that magic to work not there.
You could cast Animate Dead on it. There's a skeleton inside there.
Okay.
It would be a... And you would just know this from knowing it. It would be a weird and horrific looking thing. Because it would be the skeleton inside the stuffing moving, not like muscles. So it'd be like the worst kind of animatronics. But on that cheerful note, you descend down into the room with the two-headed serpent, go through the doorway and up the flight of stairs. The staircase leads upward into gloom. It seems as though you've found the entrance to another layer within the complex. At the top of the stairs, a wall drops forward and an enormous stone dragon lurches to the front. You hear a noise and a small trail of water drips out. It repeats 3 times, and then the statue pulls back in. A little bit of inspection, you realize that at one time, that was probably an impressive and damaging gout of steam, but the hot springs and other water and energy that had fed it have been destroyed by the draining of the swamp. Hallway continues along to the south, and then it splits to a north-south hallway. At the bottom of that north-south hallway is a pile of gold. Way down here.
Bill, shall we approach it slowly? Something like that might be a trap.
I'm gonna have Wukong fly.
Sure.
Good, Wukong.
So at the southern end of the corridor is a pile of golden coins heaped on the floor. On top of the gold rests a skull missing its lower jaw. In the right eye socket, a black spider has made its home. Several bones are piled with the coins, and the hilt of a broken sword thrusts up from the mass.
I'll have Wukong land on the coins and skull.
So as Wukong lands, the illusion of the coins shifts and shatters. It doesn't change color, but the individual coins are no longer distinct. It's more of a mound of yellow that Morrigan quickly calls out, it's mold! And then the yellow mold forces Wukong to make a DC 15 Constitution saving throw as spores erupt into the air.
Yeah, Wukong. He's never really meant... He doesn't really last that long. Nope.
And arrested.
Nope, Wukong unfortunately does not make it through the yellow mold's attack. And I apologize for the ambulance, kind of caught me off guard there. I didn't know I was dying. But they arrived too late to save Wukong. Now, you're fairly familiar with these yellow molds. Any amount of sunlight or fire would eliminate it. But
looking down the hallway, does there appear to be any other purpose for us to go down that direction?
From where you are, you see a patch in the wall that looks smoother than the others. And further down, near the yellow mold, you see a dark stain near the wall. You suspect there may be secretive doors.
Understood. Produce flame, cast it at the mold.
What a world, what a world, what a world. You destroy the mold. The illusion remains. The spider seems to have been real and burns. The bones and the hilt of the sword clatter to the floor. And as you free up and inspect the area, you see the entrances to 2 hallways. Secrets.
Well, do we go through the normal doors or through the secret doors and see where they lead?
Always secret.
Okay. North secret or south secret?
Hmm. I don't know. Say north.
Very well.
More of the map that way.
Your spatial awareness of the limited space in the temple is correct. There would be more temple in that direction, or more shrine. You make your way into a small curving hallway ahead of you. Another door. Please arrange yourselves as you might be when that door would open.
I'll take point. Why not?
I think we're about to find out why not.
Produce flame in my hand, ready to cast.
Sure.
I'm going to ready my longbow.
You ready your longbow, and you see things. An amber haze drifts in this room, which is unoccupied. Strangely shaped and colored mirrors hang on the walls, and a large oblong stone basin stands in the middle of the floor. The basin is about 10 feet long, 5 feet wide, and 3 feet tall. It is filled with a steaming golden liquid. On the northern wall, a red mirror seems to be composed of fiery glass and framed in bronze. Light beams are broken by the mirror into myriad flames, and ghostly shapes seem to flicker in the depths. On the western wall are 2 mirrors, a striking black one with an obsidian frame in lacquered wood, and a stark white mirror with a wrought iron flame. The black mirror has a distinctive earthy odor and the blackness of the subterranean caverns, but it seems of crude construction and reflects objects only when they are very close to it. The white mirror has a pungent odor of nutmeg and spice, and its depths are jellied and smoky. The mirror that hangs on the southern wall is in a stone frame and blue in color. Reflections in this mirror ripple as if the viewer is looking into a pool of water. So, red, black, white, blue. And a big golden trough.
I mean, black is obviously metal as hell, right?
I mean, it is.
Let us all move up into the room. Inspect things carefully.
Sure, please move yourselves as you might be as you start inspecting things.
There's a haze in this room?
There is a haze. That central tub is bubbling, and the gold fumes rise from it. It slightly distorts your vision, but it doesn't smell bad. It doesn't taste bad. It just seems to be some sort of steam hanging in the air.
Selenite holds her breath.
Okay.
Can Boody make an Arcana check?
Sure. What's Boody
Just-
trying to Arcana?
Just to see what type of magic this is. If it's going to kill us as soon as we enter the room. If he's ever seen anything like it before.
Sure.
Maybe straight investigation would be better. I don't know.
I'm willing to hear.
Yeah.
So you're like the old magic mirror room.
Some nerd shit going on here.
Yeah. And you reflect on it, but you don't come up with much other than that.
Alright, I got nothing here, guys. You got any ideas? Probably gonna hurt us pretty bad.
Selenite, may I to move by?
I'm going to let you guys go.
So just like press against the wall to let you pass.
Thank you.
I'm trying not to cough into the microphone, guys, so I'm probably going to be muted a lot.
That's okay. Morrigan is going to go ahead and step into the room.
Okay.
And she's going to inspect the gold liquid in this trough a little more closely.
Sure.
Try to deduce what it might be.
So looking down into the liquid, it has a very reflective and metallic surface to it. It looks like a gold-colored liquid mercury, if you can imagine that.
Okay.
So you don't see anything other than the surface. It is moving and bubbling, so you see little pucks show up as bubbles rise to the surface, and that steam rising from it has that same gold tint as it spreads out in the air and gives that haze effect.
Going to look back at Selenite. Be prepared to pull me back if something is to happen. And with that, she's just going to dip a single finger into the liquid.
And Selenite will do as she asks and basically ready the action to, if something happens, yank her back.
Sure. Morrigan, please give me a strength athletics check. Your DC is a 5.
Oh boy. I'm good.
You're fine. Your hand grows surprisingly heavy as your finger turns to gold.
Am I still able to move my finger? Or is it solid gold?
It is solid gold. It is still fused to your hand, so it doesn't like pop off or anything. But your finger is gold.
So, unable to move it.
Unable to move
I
it.
mean, I have a lot of things that I want to gold that are just on my person. I got some gold mess kit, some flatware.
Real heavy, real fast.
There's this golden longsword that can be golden. Jinx should be gold. Yeah, I have this weird prayer doll that I stole that also should be gold. Why not a hand axe that's dipped in gold? I feel there are no lack of things that need to be golden. I would like to approach and start dipping.
Sure. Now I will caution. Gold is very heavy, so anything you dip in is going to become very heavy. Are you foolish enough to dip anything that, when converted to gold, would overbalance you?
I mean, I got this now gold mess kit. And I'm just doing tips. You know, like champagne glasses. Sometimes I dip it in gold. I just want to do that for the hand axe and maybe the long sword, the hilt.
Sure. Dullahan starts
That
getting
should be
classy.
gold. Yeah, no, it's time to upscale my life.
Boody will
Get
dip
in
some
there.
arrows in there.
Yeah.
There we go. Get
Like
in
10
there.
arrows. Just a tip, though.
It's gonna overbalance those arrows so bad.
Morrigan's just inspecting her finger.
Yeah. You have a golden finger.
Gold hilt long sword. Gold hand axes.
Interesting. Going to inspect the basin a little more closely. Any arcane runes on it or anything that might give reason as to why this effect happens?
You do not see any arcane ruins. The basin itself seems fairly plain for what it's doing. You suspect whatever it is the liquid itself that is doing it.
And it wasn't like an extreme burning sensation, like it was actually molten gold being
No.
on my finger, right?
No, it was just you dipped it in and it just got heavy, and when you pulled it out, it was gold, and all the nerves are gone, so maybe a touch of the phantom pain sort of thing, but, it's just there.
Glad I did not do this on my main hand.
I think might go a little crazy is this shield. I would like to dip in gold.
How are you going to carry a golden shield?
I mean, why the hell wouldn't I carry a golden shield?
It'd be
Realize
so
that's not-
heavy.
It's going to weigh
Okay.
100
Realize
pounds.
that's not going to be as protective as it was. Yes?
So we're gonna start moving the clock forward a little bit quicker here, and about an hour from now, after many things have been golded, Morrigan, your finger reverts to flesh, and then you get hit with the worst pins and needles ever experienced, but it reverts. A few moments after that, items start.
Oh, I was doubling the weight on everything. I was dipping in gold.
Items start reverting back to their original form.
Interesting.
My flatware.
I have a few
Shit.
empty flasks.
Okay.
I would like to very carefully scoop up some of this liquid into said flasks.
This is bullshit.
Okay. You scoop up some liquid into the flask. The flask, of course, turns into gold.
Okay, I need to write these down as 2 gold flasks of gold liquid. So each flask is about an ounce. I have 2 ounces of material.
Sure.
And during that hour, while Dullahan's over there greedily gilding his stuff, I would have liked to have spent the time kind of inspecting the mirrors.
Sure, we can talk about the mirrors. So, which mirror are you approaching?
I would have moved anti-clockwise, so starting with north, moving west and south.
Starting with north. North is going to be the red mirror. And the red mirror has ghostly shapes that seem to flicker into the depths. Morrigan, as you draw closer, you see yourself and Dullahan in the background, dipping in the gold, Selenite and Boody off to the side, the basin, and then another shape. Massive, serpentine, with plumage coming from it, some sort of feathered serpent. You may be aware of the word coatl. Maybe not, but either
Let's do a
way.
nature check and find out.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're familiar with the imagery. You see this creature twist around your reflection and then crush its jaws, coming down and twisting your head. You can almost feel it, but no, that's just a creepy effect. The reflection, your body drops limp. The coatl moves away.
Funny mirror. Moving on to the one in the north on the west wall.
Sure. On the north, on the west wall, that is the white mirror. Your reflection seems to be blurred by what looks to be a mist. And can I ask you for a DC 13 Wisdom saving throw?
No, you can't have it.
But I really, really wanted to. And as you look at the mist and you, that's an interesting sort of thing. I think right about now we're hearing no from Dullahan, and everything else is wrapping up because a large portion of the mirror has just oozed its way out.
Of course.
To envelop Morrigan And if I could ask everyone to please, hang on, don't do it yet. Please add themselves to the combat tracker.
I'm over here at the gold, just completely ignoring everything.
You have better things to do.
I'm distraught by this sudden turnaround.
Why? Why would they do this to you? Morrigan, as the jelly oozes forward, pseudopods reaching for you, what do you do?
It's coming for me.
It is coming for you.
Lovely. First off, what do I know about these things?
What do you know about these things? If you don't remember, you probably don't remember if you fought one before, but you could give me some sort of nature or arcana, but it would take an action to search your memory about them.
Well, I'm trying not to metagame, but okay.
I mean, you can roll for additional information. I mean,
Yeah.
you know it's a jelly, so...
I just don't want to waste the action finding out more information about it. You know what? Sure, why not? I still have a produce flame in my hand. Let's toss it at it.
Sure.
And then back the hell up out of its grasp.
A 10 is going to strike the jelly. Please roll me damage.
It is going to hit.
A 10 hits the jelly. Please roll me damage.
10 for 10.
10 for 10 indeed. The jelly does not appear to enjoy this at all. And Morrigan, you step out of its immediate presence but not out of reach.
Mm-hmm.
And then the jelly wriggles towards you. Pseudopods. I don't think a 12 is going to hit.
Nope.
Selenite.
Move up.
Uh-huh.
Back.
Good hit. Both of those hit.
It's a magical weapon, so.
It is a magical weapon. Book. Book. There are now 2 jellies. Seems you have cleaved them in twain.
It was really impressive.
It was really impressive. And there's a good bit of jelly on the floor too, so it did have some effect. But now there's 2. Boody. You've got fancy gold-tipped arrows for a few seconds more. Are you going to use them before they turn back?
Sure, why not? Okay. Longbow, Hunter's Mark, Sharpshooter.
Sure. No.
Oof.
But yes.
18. Piercing, non-magical.
18.
Half of that.
Piercing. Non-magical.
And on the sky.
Got it. Your arrow just digs in and scatters it.
Wow.
Good use of the golden arrow. Boody, anything else?
Actually, I think as a bonus action, I can make another attack within 5 feet away. Use my Horde.
Horde Breaker?
feature.
I believe you.
Okay. So I'll make a... Again, longbow. 14.
That'll hit.
20.
That was actually the magic number. And with that, you've disposed of the jelly, revealing behind the mirror not just the jelly, but a passageway.
Very good work, everyone. Dullahan, you can go back to gilding your stuff now.
I'm like on my knees in front of like this pool, like so disappointed.
You know, I do wonder. Dullahan, mind if I try something real quick?
Probably.
Dunk his head in there.
That was exactly the idea. No? Okay. Moving on. Going to inspect Mirror South on the west.
Okay. Let's see here.
Boody is readying his longbow.
Okay. That is going to be the Black Mirror. As you stand before the Black Mirror, your reflection is distorted. It seems as though a creature wearing ancient garb, similar to that you've seen in the carvings and paintings, is standing before you. You hear a voice ring out, "Command me to answer, and I shall."
Can you say that one more time?
You hear a voice ring out, "Command me to answer, and I shall."
Answer me. What is the nature of this golden liquid?
A few moments pass and there is no response.
So much for actually responding.
I command you to respond, sir.
Moments pass and again, no response.
And a liar at that.
Morrigan's going to turn to Selenite. Arc an eyebrow. Do you think it is referring to a different type of command?
Boody will say, "I command you."
Again, no response.
I'll just say, "Command."
And again, no response.
Oh, okay, you can't hear me. I've been talking this
Yes.
whole time.
Yes.
Nobody can hear me.
Nobody could hear you.
People were talking to me, I'm talking back, nothing happened.
Yep, nope.
What did he say exactly?
Sure. His words were, where'd it go? Command me to answer, and I shall.
And if you're talking, we can't hear you.
Not
Okay.
I'm thinking because I feel like I might know what he means, but I can't think of it. You know, it's like right on the edge of my brain. Completely wrong, though.
So if anyone would like to throw a skill for hints or ideas, feel free to if they can think of one that they feel might would apply.
Insight?
I mean, insight might work. So, a command has to have some authority to it. And right now, even though you are commanding, you have no authority. You need some measure of authority.
I, General Bootylicious, command you to answer.
I don't know that an omniscient mirror is going to be tricked that easily, but it's a good try.
Morrigan will move down to allow Selenite to stand in front of the mirror as well.
Don't want to. Why are we in front of the mirror?
So the message repeats as Selenite, if moves in front.
Like, I don't want to, but she will.
So again, it's command me to answer, and I shall.
Maybe we should workshop it and move on.
Perhaps.
I'm not good at puzzles, guys.
Sorry.
Just want you to know that I'm not good with puzzles.
Perhaps I've heard of it in the histories.
Perhaps you have heard of it in the histories, and it runs along a similar vein to the insight. A command must have some measure of authority, some measure of force, some measure of inability to refuse. This isn't a request. He's not saying ask me a question. He's saying command me to answer.
So the histories are not that helpful, apparently.
Well, he's in the garb of the ancient civilization. Perhaps if you looked the part.
And hear what you just said.
Sure. Perhaps if you looked the part, or sounded the part, or had some demonstrable authority. And if we're stalled on it, we can definitely move to the other mirror.
That was going to be my thought.
And if somebody would like to, they certainly may. Now, these mirrors, you all have been gazing at them, but you have not been interacting physically with them at this point. So if someone does decide to interact physically with them, do let me know.
Gotcha.
But to the south, a blue mirror, the light and the images that you see in it seem to reflect as if viewing a pool of clear water. Aside from the distortion by the ripples, no trouble.
Boody, might I borrow one of your arrows for a moment?
Sure. I have 100 of them. Here you go.
Good. I'm going to take said arrow and poke at the surface of the mirror. See if it ripples.
You take the arrow and you poke at the surface of the water. And can I ask you for a DC 13 Charisma saving throw, please?
No, you can't.
I feel you could do this.
No, this was my dump stat.
It'll be fine. 13's low. And lucky.
Holy
See?
shit.
You tap lightly on the glass, but no ripple. It seems there is something between you and the water.
Very well. Secret rooms with other secret passages to other secret rooms? Anyone?
I mean, at this point, let's go.
Very well. Let me lead the way. And this is going to be pushing up into the secret room behind, what was that, white mirror?
Sure. Behind the white mirror, yes. And behind the white mirror, a small bending passageway leads to the north. And a door.
Thaumaturgy.
Calm down, it's not what it looks like.
Ah,
Looks like a giant octopus to me.
I mean, it does look a little like a giant octopus.
With a giant ruby set into its forehead?
It could be. So in the center of a diamond-shaped room is a dais on which a weirdly formed altar rests. The altar is made to resemble a many-armed and beaked octopus-like creature with a large purple-red stone in its forehead. The altar and floor are covered with dust. The walls of the room are decorated with paintings of the sun and the moon in motion. Other images show people standing about a temple, making sacrifices of flesh and blood, while the figure of a priest holds the heart of its latest victim above his head.
Interesting. How far up would you say that nice big gemstone is?
Oh, I would say it's probably 15 feet up from the floor.
How tall is the ceiling?
Ceiling's about 25 feet.
Too bad we don't have that little flying monkey anymore.
We do have something else that flies.
I feel like somebody just got volunteered for something.
Boody covers his heart, and he
Cover your heart, Boody.
Advantages of having wings.
If Boody is going to go
Yes,
for the gem, I'm going to ready a held action to thorn whip him.
Okay,
Don't worry, Boody.
To pull him closer to me.
I know how to
Something
speak octopus.
react to him taking that stone.
Okay.
I'm sure this will be fine. I'm sure once I remove that stone, nothing will happen.
Yep.
And it will be okay.
It's
Nothing at all.
It's 100% sure gonna be okay.
will happen that we will regret.
That seems very likely. So Boody, what are you planning to do exactly?
I plan to take a dagger, pry that stone out.
Okay.
Or I plan to look at the stone and see if there's a way to move it or manipulate it without me using brute force first. And then, if not, I will see if I can gently pry it out.
Okay. So a couple of things happen.
Of course.
Things.
So, yeah, I mean, I think they're going to be funny. So Boody flies up and reaches down. Yeah, his name's Boody. My son's walking through the room and giving me the look. So Boody flies up.
I think it's just as bad as you, kid.
Yeah.
Hey, how dare you? Shut your goddamn filthy mouth. My name is awesome. Go on.
So
It's better than Bimmy.
He reaches.
It was inspired.
It was inspired. But in this instance, Boody is grasping for this gem, and the moment that he touches the gem, he is stuck to it.
Oh, I got a problem here, guys.
And
To the octopus.
then the entire octopus and pedestal begins to spin. Slowly at first, but it looks as though it's going to pick up speed.
Let's go.
And then Boody is seized with the uncontrollable, one might say irresistible, urge to dance. Okay.
I'm dancing.
You are dancing. So, would everyone do me a favor and just roll themselves onto the initiative order? And Morrigan, you are the first to react. You do have a plan. What are you doing?
So is he dancing in midair, or is he actually standing on top of this thing dancing?
Well, his hands are kind of stuck to it, and it's starting to spin, so the force is starting to kind of swing him outward. You know, like a kid hanging on to the outside of a merry-go-round kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if Boody can dance, but he's trying to shake his booty. No, that one didn't land. I see.
I'm shaking it.
So he's trying.
Yeah, he's shaking his tail feathers.
Yeah.
Doing the worm.
Doing the worm.
I like that one a lot better. Casey. Shaking his tail feathers is nice.
So, Morgan, what are you doing with this situation that has presented itself to you?
Quick glance around the room. Is there any mechanism that I can see that would be able to disable this from spinning?
You do not see any mechanisms in the room. Aside from the spinning octopi.
Okay. Yeah, plan B. Thorn Whip, Boody, out of the room.
Okay. And what is the range on the Thorn Whip?
30 feet.
30 feet. Okay. Please, Boody, are you allowing an attack on yourself?
Yes.
Okay. Morgan, please roll an attack roll against Boody's armor class.
15.
Nope, not getting it.
Oh,
All right.
It spins a little too much.
dancing too hard.
Rawhide. Morgan, any other activity?
I am going to press myself up into the corner to allow people to pass by if need be.
Sounds good.
Other than that, no.
So as that starts up, Dullahan, you can hear this from where you are. Are you taking any action?
I will walk over to see what the commotion's about, sure. So what do we have here?
Giant spinning octopus.
Oh! Mommy gave me one of those as a... I kind of look in like, oh, this is what you mean. Enjoy
I want to
yourself.
know what he thought he was talking about.
Just a little insight into the family life of
That's-
Dullahan.
Means a lot.
Just try blowing it up. Is there a hinge or something? That can I see the mechanism that's making it spin?
So the whole altar is on a pedestal, and the pedestal sinks down in the floor. So you can just see the pillar that this whole octopus is on turning. But any mechanism or whatever's driving it must be below the floor.
Gotcha.
So kind of like you imagine the merry-go-rounds. You can see the part that's spinning, and you can kind of see the pole or the shaft, but below, you just kind of got that circular hole.
Well, can I just try shooting at it? See if that does anything?
Sure. You fire a firebolt at it. It does hit, and may I see some damage, please? You do scorch the altar, but it doesn't seem as though attacking the altar itself is going to have any dramatic impact. You broke pieces off of it, but that doesn't seem to be slowing it.
I only have about 100 more of those to go. Hold on there, Boody. And I guess that's my turn.
Selenite.
Yeah, busy.
Say it again.
How high up is he?
He is about 15 feet up at the moment.
Okay. Don't really have anything I can do. Not that I know of. I really don't have anything I can do.
Okay.
To get him down or out.
Okay.
Nothing.
All right, so you just keep an eye on the situation for the moment. And Boody, it comes round to you. I need from you a DC 10 Constitution saving throw.
All right. Boody is twerking to save the band. Beat the band. 13?
You pass. So despite spinning and thrashing and dancing, you do not take any levels of exhaustion. And then may I ask for a DC 15 athletics or acrobatics?
I'll do athletic.
Okay. So you give it a hell of a twist, and you're like, all right, I can let go now or not. So if you let go, you're spinning, so you're going to probably fly back and hit a wall. But
That's
you
fine.
will have let go on.
Yep.
Okay.
What do I take?
5 points of bashing damage, bludgeoning damage, as you rebound off the wall and keep yourself clear of the spinning octopus. And it starts to slow down, slower, 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 until finally it stops facing you once more, the gem still set in his forehead.
Hey guys, I don't give a shit we get out of this temple, but I want this octopus. We need... Ever see that episode where Peter Griffin takes the couch out of the Millennium Falcon from the Death Star? We have to do this.
Sure.
Moving it on your own.
So you are currently, you are on the second highest tier of the temple. You know that it's basically on level ground outside. So if you were to somehow blast straight through these stone walls, you'd be opening up to level ground out there. How you might get this 40-foot across octopus out, I'm not sure, but I'm willing to hear your ideas.
We raise
25 foot across.
We'll have them pull it out. We'll leave it here for now for safekeeping.
In the meantime, do you mind if I try something else for that gem?
Be my guest.
Much along the same vein for Boody, I want to try to thorn whip the gem loose.
Okay.
Basically, trying to break the setting around it using thorn whip.
Show me Thorn Whip's text real quick.
Sure. That's going to take me a hot moment.
Okay.
Thorn whip. I need to set that. Actually, I'll just copy paste. It is towards a creature. Never mind.
Okay, so that was one of the two things I was curious about.
Yep.
So, yeah, you know that relies on flesh of some sort. I don't know.
I mean, it's an octopus. An octopus is a creature, stone or not. Argument made.
It doesn't think of itself as a creature. It's been objectified for too long.
Ow.
Boo.
I don't know. Where am I going? I don't know. I got nothing. But no, the thorn whip will not avail.
Ah.
Anything else?
Yeah, fuck it. Let's throw produce flame at it. Because produce flame doesn't rely on the creature.
Sure. Give me an attack roll. 17 will strike the gem. Please roll me damage. You get it in there, and you can see the gem start heating up. You can hear that whine of crystal and glass as it heats up, and maybe 1-2 more of those, and you could probably shatter it.
See, I was trying to go for the setting around it, try to bust out around the gem.
It's in there. Like, I can't think of a way that you would pinpoint strike all around the gem without heating the gem.
Well, this thing will be worthless if I break it. We'll leave it, come back to it. After all, Boody wants the entire thing for himself.
Yes, I do.
All right. So, what y'all doing then?
Well, we have the passageway to the north and the secret room to the south. Let's take a vote. North or south?
Well, I don't know if it matter that much, considering most of these doors end up in a dead end. Choose one. Yeah, the north one. It's closest, right?
The north
they are
one.
about equal ways away.
Basically, they're equidistant.
Let's just go here. This way we can explore this
Yeah, they're
area.
exactly even a distance away from us.
I appreciate that rather than accept one is closer, you all get out the rope and you start measuring it off. Like, no, actually. So which way did you decide to go? And if someone would please move in that direction.
Morrigan and Selenite are two peas in a pod. Where one goes, the other does.
Do you want to go down south and just take care of this area down here?
Yeah, might as well. Secret rooms hide interesting things.
Sure.
As Dullahan found out.
All that gold.
Bullshit. Can I tip it over, or is this like in a basin?
It is a basin. It would take some doing to tip over, but you could tip it over.
Yeah, I want to tip this over.
That seems exceedingly dangerous. I would not do that. Let's go, Donald Trump. You can get your gold later. Let's go.
You realize I have a couple of flasks
not to
of
be,
this thing, right?
Not to be fooled by this bullshit basin.
I was wrong. You can't tip it over.
Never mind.
You're like, little feet kicking behind you. So, as you head on south, a hallway twists back, and along the way you can see a, what do you see? You see a door at the end of the hallway, along with another mirror.
Man, these fucking mirrors.
Want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
Let me. You're harder to hit, but I can take more. And Morrigan is going to move up to about there.
Mm-hmm.
Anything unusual about the mirrors so far?
Aside from the reflections of you all, nope.
Just appears to be a normal mirror.
Appears to be. I mean, no. You are 100% certain this is not a normal mirror, but you have no indication as to what it might be doing.
Very well. As I move up, I am going to move up slowly. and be inspecting like floor for pressure plates, tripwires, anything trap of that nature.
Sure. You will get to within 10 feet of the mirror before a thing happens.
Okay, so within 10 feet.
As you reach that point, may I have a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw?
Yes, you can. How's the 26?
26. Nothing happens.
Now, whenever it is trying to exert its effect, whatever its effect might be, am I feeling anything from that? Or is it just everything feels normal?
Everything feels... I mean, you know something is happening, but it's not like a force. It's just that, yeah, this is obviously a trap. It just hasn't happened yet.
Everybody wait here for a moment. I am going to step up to...
Sure, as you continue moving forward, give me a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw again.
No, didn't happen.
That time, it did not.
What I was going to end up doing is I was going to end up pulling the club out and smashing the mirror.
Sure. You may certainly do so. You ready your mirror, and you ready your club, and as you do so, a figure steps forward to defend the mirror, moving in from out of vision. Another of the warriors dressed in that feathered garb stands to defend the mirror, and he strikes towards you. You strike towards him, and please go ahead and roll yourself back onto that initiative turn order. Everybody can, if they'd like.
I'm just killing it with the 18s on the initiative tonight. That's the third one.
Aw, you bums. You didn't give me a...
Jeez.
It's on fire.
Not yet.
Fair. Boody. Wrong button. Boody.
Yo.
You see Morrigan come to a standstill.
Yeah.
But nothing else.
I don't see the warrior or anything like that.
You do not see the warrior or anything like that.
Oh, shit. Who's going to move up one?
Okay.
Past Selenite, excuse me.
Got it.
Do I see him now?
You do not.
Is it Morgan? What's going on?
Morgan, you find yourself unable to respond.
This is okay.
Boody, anything else?
I'm going to try to grab Morgan and pull him back.
Okay. Give me a attack roll. Beat Morgan's armor class.
Attack with what?
Just normal D20. Roll high.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay, so you go to grab, and I mean, you get your hands on Morgan, and you go to
fingers.
You go to pull back, and Morgan is self-balancing, and you're just like, I can't make this happen.
Yeah, your fingers just slip off some weird fungus mold.
Yeah,
video.
yeah, you're gonna want to bath after that.
I'm going to drink Purell after this. Okay.
Morgan,
Back up.
what are you doing?
I wanted to smash the mirror.
Yes, please, give me an attack roll.
Nah.
You do not manage to smash past the warrior that is threatening you towards the mirror itself. And
now, am I able to respond at this point, or am I still unable to respond?
you are unable to communicate with the other party members.
Very well.
Right, and
I'm trying to see if I have any kind of bonus action attacks. Sure. I do not.
Right. The warrior strikes towards you.
Ooh, question.
Yep.
If I use my reaction for my Halo of Spores, does it take damage? if it fails that con save.
We can try. It does not fail that con save.
No, it does not.
And then it strikes you with a similar plains person's club with the obsidian in it. Boy, that would be good not to push the wrong button there. You take 4 points of damage.
What was its attack to hit?
It rolled a 24 on the attack. That was the 1d20 plus 8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry, I rolled the attack before you said these scores.
That completely missed me. So 4 points of damage?
4 points of damage. And then Dullahan, you see Morrigan standing stock still.
Everyone, tie your shoes.
And what are you aiming at?
The commotion.
Ah, fair enough. You send a bolt of fire zipping past towards the end of the hallway. Go ahead and roll me damage. Nice damage. Morrigan, please give me a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw.
No.
No. Your firebolt is sucked in to the mirror.
That's probably not good.
Probably not. Dullahan, anything else?
Should we try the north door? That's it.
All right. Selenite. Morrigan remains stock still.
Boody, even though he's walking away.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna move into that space, kind of bumping Booty's side, and she's gonna try and grapple Morrigan and haul her backwards.
Sure. Give me an attack roll against Morrigan's armor class.
Do that. Just
Just normal attack. Yeah, normal. You can use your sword. We'll just take the... Sword's fine. We'll just take the +1 off.
That'll definitely.
That'll hit. Morrigan, please give me a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw.
Finally.
All right. You shake yourself loose of the illusion. You did take the 4 points. However, it was psychic damage that you took. And the mirror shatters in front of you, pieces falling to the ground.
Trust no mirror here. Break them when you can. Fuck the superstitions about 7 years of bad luck.
I mean, to the north, a door awaits.
Thaumaturgy.
Kaboof.
Oh, that's not
Oh,
good.
fuck this noise. Thaumaturgy to shut it again.
A quick glance to the north, you were able to report a large dais, raised steps leading up to a massive column, some sort of suit of ancient armor standing upon it, and then you closed it again.
Selenite kind of gives Morgan like a raised brow.
If you want to go in there and fight the suit of armor, by all means.
Anything worthwhile in there?
I don't know, did she see anything worthwhile in there?
I'm almost certain you closed that immediately, so you just got like the briefest glance of the room before you bring it back down again. Do you want to open it up and take another peek?
Yes, just long enough to see if there's anything worthwhile in the room.
Okay. So, door opens again. Beyond the door is a wide foyer that leads into a circular room. On the south wall of this hall is a jade death mask affixed at chest height. Taking up the middle of the chamber is a cross-shaped dais with sets of stairs leading up to it along each of the four ends. In the center of the dais rises a cylindrical structure that appears to be made of transparent walls of crystal enclosing an oddly carved stone pillar. The stairs that face the room's entrance are carved with the heads of many gods, and the steps to the west are blood-stained, and atop the landing stands a statue of a warrior. The stairs to the north across the room are partially obscured by shadow, and the staircase to the east is luminescent. Each stair appears to change colors in the light. Tucked into each nook where the arms of the cross come together is a low shelf on which are placed many small offerings: silver bracelets, earrings, neck collars, anklets, piles of coral beads, silver and jade statuettes.
Yes, there are things of value in here.
Then she says, what she repeats herself was worthwhile.
Any of that look worthwhile whatsoever?
I mean,
She's basically asking your opinion, because she will just, if you don't want to go in there, and because if you don't think it's worthwhile to go in there, then they won't.
There are things worth money in there. Money is always worthwhile. However, I'm going to point at the death mask.
mm-hmm.
That might be a bit of an issue. And pointing at the blood-soaked stairs on the west side, right next to the statue, or the suit of armor. And that also might be a problem. Looks like we haven't been the only ones who have tried to make it in here.
And
so if we want to risk it, we can. However, when we will be able to sell any of this stuff that we have gathered, that is beyond me.
The stuff that you're looking for in this room, the stuff that's in this room, is more of the trade goods type. They're jade figurines, they're things made of silver. They almost don't need to be sold. They could be exchanged as is, similar to hack silver or other jewelry.
The point that I'm trying to make is we don't have any cities nearby that we'd especially be welcome in.
Okay, gotcha. Though if you are heading up to Red Larch, if that's the plan, there's a lot of travel between here and there.
I want to take a closer look at that death mask.
Sure.
Is there anything about it that stands as shit, yeah, this is danger? And is there any kind of trigger mechanism for it? If
sure.
So,
you moving up to it?
I will move up next to it. I won't move up in front of it.
Fair enough. Please give me some sort of investigative or otherwise.
Investigation 21.
Ooh, that's a really good investigation. And as the investigation is ongoing, is anyone doing anything else?
I'm going to move up and cover him with my bow.
Okay.
Or at least peek around the corner as best I can.
Sure.
So I'll ready an action with the bow that anything starts to move at him, they're going to get whacked.
And Selenite, if you said anything as you moved up, I didn't hear you. Right. So, begin inspecting that jade mask. It does look to be fairly expensive. And, yes, you do notice that it is booby-trapped. If you were to lift the mask away from the wall, a catch would be triggered. You could secure that fairly easily with a little bit of work.
Then let us go ahead and do that.
Sure. Please give me a dexterity check. If you happen to have thieves' tools, you can use your thieves' tools. Your difficulty is a 5.
Thieves' tools using dexterity, yes?
Thieves' tools using dexterity would be great.
18.
You crush it. So you secure it. You're going to leave a pin behind for that. Lift the jade mask off the wall. That jade mask is worth 25 gold. As you lift it off the wall, the door behind you begins swinging shut.
Try to brace it.
Sure.
Try to lodge whatever I can in there.
Okay.
What check do you want me to make?
Give me a strength athletics check. You will not know the difficulty.
Okay. Oof.
It was
11.
higher than that, though.
Yeah.
Good help.
Oh, sorry, Selenite, I missed you. Selenite throws her back into it as well, and the two of you are still unable to stop the door from closing.
Jeez.
It begins to sweep you forwards and into the room. Do you wish to leave Morrigan on their own in the room, or are you getting shoved in the room as well?
I'm going
in.
Okay. Dullahan. I know you were away, so we'll give you a chance to catch up as you're back. The room was being investigated. Morrigan has just lifted a jade mask off the wall. At that time, it triggered the door to close, and everyone is getting pulled inside. I will give you the option. You may be inside or outside as you choose.
Though I was pretty sure that the trap had been disarmed.
The trap had been disarmed. Booming throughout the room, you hear, "Interlopers, you have trespassed on my sacred chapel. For this affront, retribution has already begun, for you are now breathing a toxic gas which will kill you shortly. It is possible your actions were not from malice or greed, but just idle curiosity. Therefore, you will find the cure upon the stone in the middle of the dais. If you can solve the puzzle to reach it by the proper route, you will receive it. Choose your path wisely and act quickly."
Selenite
If I was
stops
an
breathing.
Sure.
I mean, Selenite had already stopped breathing.
She's
Yeah.
talked a couple of times, so.
And Dullahan, I heard you start talking. What'd you say?
Oh no, it seems curious. If I was an interloper, he would just give me the way out. That seems odd.
Perhaps. And Morrigan, you are thoroughly convinced that the trap that you disarmed is still disarmed. It did not trigger.
She's just going to raise an eyebrow and slip the mask on.
Okay. You wear a fanciful jade death mask. It matches your spores well.
Good.
Maybe wearing the mask and help us get up the altar. Help Morgan get up the altar.
I have no clue. It just looks nice.
Also, yeah.
There's
All
a
right.
puzzle?
Let's get to it.
That is what he said. Who cares to take the first step?
I want to move forward.
Sure. There are 4 sets of steps as well as the shelves. You are currently not attempting to walk up the steps. You've approached the dais, and everything seems fine. To the north, these steps... Whoop. Went the right spot. These steps have a shadow or darkness about them. These steps are lit up with scintillating colors. These steps are something.
Please wait, DM loading.
Yeah, DM loading. Oh, these steps are covered with the heads of gods, and these are stained in blood.
Of what gods?
Good question. How about a history check? Or religion. Religion also very valid.
Oh, somebody else do that.
Dullahan, you recognize the gods shown here as some of those that were represented on the way up. So you can make the connection that these are the gods of this temple, but not pull any additional backstory out of it yet. You haven't checked your books.
Someone remind me, have I already made a check in regards to whether or not I know the gods of this temple?
You could make it again. These are new faces, new carvings.
Okay.
A little bit better, so you recognize the gods of this temple, of this area, but no history associated with any of them. There does not seem to be a representation of the god of the sun here.
The what?
The what?
The god of the sun.
Well, there are steps here regardless of the heads here. Dullahan wants to know what are the legends of this hidden temple.
I think it's a joke.
No, geez.
Pretty sure that's a pun.
Pretty sure that's an old game show.
Uh-huh.
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yep. My brain didn't make that connection until you said something.
It's okay. I read that and immediately got it.
Morrigan is going to put her foot on the first step. Just a foot on the step.
Okay. You place your foot upon the step. As you do, those god heads begin babbling and talking at you, and immediately you are struck with lethargy and exhaustion. You sink down, and you just can't stay, and eventually you end up kneeling, 1 foot on the step, 1 knee on the ground, too weak to even pull yourself away.
Or off the step.
Yoink! Morrigan, you feel better once you are no longer on those steps.
How high is that dice? Is the dice up there?
Dice is about 15 feet up.
Hey, you want to try round 2? Be flying up there, just grabbing it?
Yeah, sure.
Surrounded by crystals, though. Right? Like a crystal.
So there's a tube of crystal atop the dais, and then inside that tube, a column of stone that it is challenging you to reach. You assume that this is going to be a multi-step challenge. Step 1 is the dais.
Okay. So it's not as simple as me just flying up there.
I mean, could be.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think we have to trigger it somehow.
I can say for certain that these steps are not the ones. Dullahan, it looks like you might have an idea for steps. By all means.
I don't know about an idea, just there's more steps to try. There's 4 of us, 4 paths.
Sure.
One of them's got to be right.
Dullahan, the steps in front of you are scintillating, the colors changing constantly.
Let's reserve the death steps for last.
Yep. I call not it on the death steps.
So Dullahan, does that mean you are ascending the scintillating steps?
I mean, what's this one?
A dim light surrounds it.
Oh,
Dim
yeah, I
shadow.
like dim lights. I'm into that.
All right. Please go ahead and begin your ascension. As you move up, the shadows grasp at you, and you find that the steps are not as substantial as you would hope. You slide down and take a little bit of bludgeoning damage. That is not what I meant to write. Oh, you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
I mean, you could do 2 + 1.
I could.
Just die.
I mean, it seems like the odds are different for 1d5 and 1d5 plus 1 and 1d6, so...
Sure. Okay.
And you find yourself back down at the bottom of the steps, having not made any process upwards.
Boody will try this step right here.
Boody.
Actually,
As
he's going to sort of hover on it and just tap it with his foot.
Okay.
See what happens.
You hover and you tap the step with your foot. So you have tapped the first step.
Okay. Tap the second step.
You go to tap the second step, and you find yourself tapping the first step again. Repeating this process several times over, you don't seem to ever be able to make it to that second step.
All right, so since we're doing this in patterns, Selenite will
move up to Selenite.
Sure.
Selenite will testingly put her foot on the first step here.
Okay. Selenite puts her foot on the first step.
Can I declare a held action?
Sure.
Cool. Held action. I want to cast. Where is it? I want to cast Heat Metal if that armor moves.
You certainly may. Selenite, your foot is on the first step.
Nothing's happened.
Nothing has happened.
The second step.
As you put your foot on the second step, the armor moves to challenge you, and I will need everyone to please add themselves to the turn order.
Can I use my held action of shooting at it?
You may in a moment.
Okay.
I am selected initiative 4 times for my initiative.
Boody, you don't have a shot at the moment.
Damn it. Can I hover in the air and take a shot?
No, I mean, there's a big column in the way.
Then
That
I'll
whole
move.
central circle. Well, you can't move with a held action, so
Damn.
you are still floating over there. But let's
Gets to go first.
put things in order here. Oh yeah, Boody. So all right, Morrigan first because it was held action.
Yep.
Morrigan, please cast your spell.
We'll do Heat Metal at 2nd level. DC 15 con save from the Helmed Horror.
It seems to not react at all.
Lovely.
Because it's not wearing it, it is the armor.
That could be one explanation. And Boody, your move.
I just look up how long Hunter's Mark lasts. I think it's an hour. Damn it. Hold on.
Well, you guys have had a long rest, so I don't think you've used a hunter's mark in
He
here.
did one.
I used one already. Up to 1 hour. Okay, so move my Hunter's Mark. I'm going to keep it on this guy, the Helm Horror, take 2 shots.
Okay.
16.
16 will miss.
Damn it.
10 will also miss.
Beautiful garbage.
Boody, anything else? And where did you move to? That column's still going to be in your way there. You go north or south?
Can I just hover up in the air, just straight up?
No, the column goes all the way up, so you got to be...
Okay.
I got to be able to make a line between you and him.
Right there.
That'll work. Dullahan.
I don't want to be here anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So we should make short work of this. I'd like to shoot it 5 times with a magic.
You may certainly shoot it 5 times with a magic missile. That's math. 4, 8, 12, 15, 17. 17 force damage. Seems to have no effect upon the armored creature.
The missile doesn't seem so magic now.
Dullahan, anything else for you?
Just abject disappointment.
Morgan, as abject disappointment rolls forward, what are you doing?
Morgan will pull out that typical thorny stem from her hair,
Mm-hmm.
and she's going to thorn whip it,
Certainly may.
which I do not believe will hit.
12 will not strike.
And as a... I don't want to do that. Yeah. Okay. Bonus action.
Okay.
I am going to burst my Halo of Spores.
Okay.
Symbiotic entity. Which gives me my 25 temporary hit points. Actually, it's up to 30 now. And I will move up the stairs past Selenite to basically be face to face with it, if I am able to do so.
You are able to walk up the stairs and stand upon the dais with the helmed horror.
Wunderbar. And that will be my turn.
All right. That seems to have caught the creature's attention as it swings at you twice with a longsword, two-handed. Morrigan. 16?
No.
9.
Nope.
Selenite. Miss and a miss.
I don't think either of those hit.
Anything else?
Actually, yes, I will bonus action.
Okay.
I will bonus action Shield of Faith on myself.
Sounds good. Boody. Pair of misses. Oop, how are you trying to get there? Oop, Joe, I can't hear you if you're talking.
Sorry.
That's right.
I want to fly and see if I can perch myself on this this piece right here.
Okay. As you try and fly up, you find yourself rejected the moment you try and cross the airspace above the dais, and you take 1 point of forceful damage as you are bounced off and back away.
Restricted airspace. All right.
Restricted airspace.
So I will. I'm staying here. That's it. I'm done.
All right. Dullahan.
Yes, I'd like to run up behind it and try to grapple the arm.
Okay. Let's see a strength athletics, please. 19's a big number. It will try and not be captured. And it is not captured.
Oh god, Keith. Are you on one of your rolling benders?
I don't know. I haven't hit you guys yet. Do anything else?
He's gonna sit down in the
Take a little lie down. Morrigan.
Let's see. You know what? Yeah. The thorny vine goes back into her hair. Obsidian dagger comes out. And I'm going to try to stab it with the dagger.
Sure.
23.
23 will hit.
7 piercing.
7 piercing. Does seem to bite into the armor.
You are a tough son of a bitch to hit. Oh, also. I need to roll a d6 because poison damage.
Okay.
Because of symbiotic entity.
All right. It seems immune to your poisons.
This is a shame.
Truth. Anything else for you?
That will be it.
Having scratched it, it attacks you with vigor.
Can I have it make a Constitution save?
It can. What am I resisting?
My symbiotic entity.
What type of damage does it do?
At this point it would be 2d6 necrotic.
It seems to ignore your necrotic damage.
Gotcha.
It does tag you with the longsword for 6 points of slashing damage.
Yep, still good.
And the
Go.
follow-up, another 7.
Still good. Move on.
Selenite.
Go. There's some
That'll
hits.
work. Selenite steps up and starts making it look easy, cleaving into the armor. Another round like that, and you will have this in the bag. Selenite, anything else?
I'm good.
All right, Boody. You've had a poor showing so far.
Here comes another one. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's one.
Oh, hey, look at that. That works.
Not magical, though.
Non-magical,
19.
but still 19. Contributing to the effort.
I'm helping. That's it, I'm done.
Dullahan.
I wish to, but it doesn't seem like I will.
Nope, not with that one, unfortunately. Anything else?
I'm just gonna go over here for the duration. Let me know if there's some assistance I can actually do.
It will take the attack of opportunity as you try and move away, slashing down.
Pedestal thing?
What's that?
Is it not up on this pedestal?
Well, you attacked it with a longsword, so you had to get close enough to.
Like its feet. Is this another?
It can,
another
Again, it's
5
another werewolf with
Yes.
long arms.
Yes.
Yeah, this
Just
is
go
exactly
with
it.
Just
This
go
is
with
exactly it. Sure. Sure,
Helm-
Casey.
And it will definitely hit you if you're by its feet.
helmed horrors have long.
I'm not. I assumed that it wasn't gonna hit me, so I was. But if it's gonna hit me, I'd rather just stay still.
Okay, so you can stay there. You can see it
This
eyeing you.
long-armed natural.
Yes, long-armed.
Sure.
It doesn't have. It can extend its gauntlets towards you as needed. Morgan.
Sure.
Next verse, same as the first.
Okay.
Well, same as the second, I should say. And that's not going to make contact.
All right. Helmed Har. We'll give it 2 more attacks here. Morgan, you are the target.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
Miss and a miss. I will say at this point, you have worked your way through the appropriate technique on the Helmed Horror. It is a mage slayer, but you have the physical capabilities to deal with it and wear it away before it can do any significant damage to you. That gives you access to the tier as it falls.
Like how you just assumed I was going to kill it.
pretty.
Between you and Boody, I'm pretty sure it was going to fall that day.
It was not long for this world. So you can drama that moment up as needed. But as you reach the second tier, you hear. So you passed the first test. Perhaps you are not the fools you first seemed, but it will take the best tool of the most clever person to breach these crystal walls. Your time is running out.
He just rubs his hands together and goes, I'm out. That's it.
Good luck opening the door.
I mean, I'm out in this challenge. I'm here to win it, but...
Well, and I actually will look at Morrigan because I believe we stole someone's thieves' tools.
We might have His Highness's thieves' tools, yes.
Mm-hmm.
What about a chisel and hammer? Do we have that in thieves' tools?
I do not believe that applies in thieves' tools, but I do have a. Oh no, different campaign. Does anybody have a Dungeoneer's kit or a Dungeoneer's pack?
I mean, I think His Highness probably had a crowbar.
I have his crowbar for sure.
The pittons and whatnot.
That's what I was looking for in the Dungeoneer's pack, was the pittons and the hammer.
It'd just be easy if we had His Highness.
I've got a Morning Star, so we really don't need a hammer. Yeah. I can whack the crap out of it.
We got the crowbar and a hammer, why not?
Yeah, he has a hammer and pittons, of course. He has everything he could possibly want to thieve.
Yep. So we got a crowbar and a Morning Star.
Okay.
Let's work on it.
All right.
We're basically making an impromptu hammer and chisel.
All right, got it.
Shatter the crystal.
I see where you're going with it. And who is doing the swinging?
Selenite is.
Selenite.
I program.
Okay. So Dullahan.
I'm holding the crowbar. She's hitting the with the Morning Star.
Dullahan, I have an important question for you. Is Selenite the cleverest person in the room?
Clever?
Oh, I super am not.
Okay. Selenite, as you begin to take the swing, thinking in your own head that you are not the most clever person in the room, you take 3 points of force damage as the wall just blasts you back away from it.
Brushes that off.
Sure, just dust yourself off. You're like, that didn't tickle. But maybe it did.
Boody has an 8 intelligence and a 16 wisdom, so...
Yeah, but it's a matter of...
Morgan will actually hand that stuff over to... Someone will hand it to Morgan, because she's pretty sure that's the most clever person in the room.
And that was going to be my thought process as well, as Morgan definitely believes she's a little more clever than Dullahan.
Okay. So Morgan, are you going to attempt to shatter the crystal?
Yes.
Okay. So as Morgan lines up, Dullahan, I have a question for you. Is Morgan the most clever person in the room?
Well, what do you mean by clever?
I mean whatever you think clever means. Would you say that Morgan is more clever than you?
No.
No?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know. Okay.
I feel everyone has their own moment.
Okay. Boody, do you feel that Morgan is the most clever person in the room?
Yes, absolutely. Let's all agree.
Yes, actually, yes. Let's do it. Yes. No, let's go. You're right. No, totally right. Okay. Totally right. Yes, absolutely. Let's get this done with. I want out of this stupid dungeon. Yes.
I want to be in bed by 11:45.
Yes. No, you're totally right. Yes, of course. Of course. Let's go.
As you realize that teamwork does make the dream work,
sure.
A gap appears in the wall, and you hear, you've reached my altar, but your time is nearly exhausted, and the cure is just beyond your reach. Trust your souls to the gods, foolish mortals.
I'm sorry, what?
Trust your souls to the gods.
Trust your souls to the gods.
That's a fuck no from Morrigan.
Okay.
She believes in no god other than herself.
Okay.
What are the gods that are here? That are on the altar again?
There are gods on the stairs leading now down from the altar if you're on the dais, or up to it.
Trust your religion to see which they are?
Sure.
See if we can figure them out. Nope. Religion, opiate of the people.
It is.
Sucks.
Dullahan trusts no god other than himself.
Mm-hmm.
No, I just don't like it.
I mean, I say we do what we have to do to get out of the situation, and then we can come to terms with it later.
Discuss the morality of it, sure.
Okay.
So
Right now,
sorry.
Exactly what she said.
That's why I keep muting myself. I have a really bad cough. So we got past the first layer, and
Yep.
there's a pillar. And
Yep.
what are we supposed? Is this thing in the pillar?
So you're on the dais. You were looking at the crystal wall. The crystal wall is now turned so that there's a gap there, and you can see the stone column ahead of you. But the voice has called out that you're not quite done. You need to trust your souls to the gods. And it seems as though doing so would remove the final barrier, the actual stone column itself, from the promised antidote.
Okay, so we're trying to drop this stone column. There's nothing
Drop this
to
stone column.
reach for or anything.
No. And the gap is not large enough for you to apply any force or any, leverage to it. It's basically just enough to get your hand inside, and if that stone column wasn't there, to pull out the vial that should be behind it.
Boody proposes that we walk up and down these stairs while trusting our souls to the gods.
So he proposes it, but does someone do it?
Selenite will move around to these steps.
Okay.
Boody will do it with you guys, obviously. And I will
Them, four of us.
I will walk up the stairs. I trust you gods.
All right. Could I have... Good.
I certainly trust the shadows.
All right. Boody, could I have a religion check from you? Your DC is a 10.
My strong point. Jesus. Alright, here we go. Oh. Roll 20, you are...
The gods do not seem particularly pleased with your form of worship.
I mean, I don't really know what I even worship in or out of character, but okay.
And I think that shows. Morrigan, Dullahan, Selenite, you can tell that Booty's just flailing about. Like, no concept of any
Nothing
way.
really happened to him on these steps.
Nothing
No.
happened.
I fly in the air and I shoot a bow. Okay, that is my resume. So yes.
You do get the impression Boody is on the right path, as he did not have that exhaustion set in. But perhaps he just didn't frame it up properly. Would somebody like to maybe frame it up? But you do need to declare faith in the gods.
Well,
Are you willing to?
The shadows have always treated Dullahan well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, stare of shadowy power, God. I throw myself on your endless shadowiness. And I guess he will then try to slither down the stairs in
Sure.
a very undignified way.
I appreciate
has her
every
cell phone out
second of that.
recording.
Can I please see a DC 10 religion check? You do have advantage, because that was really funny. Yes!
Just
We can buy.
And with that, the stone column drops away, revealing a potion sitting in the middle.
And upload it to YouTube.
And uploaded to YouTube. As the stone column drops, a serpentine figure twines upward and away around the crystal column. A feathered serpent, its long sinuous body passing between you and the potion. Morrigan, you're the only one who has a real shot at the moment, because you're the only one that's still standing in front of the gap.
Mm-hmm.
Are you doing anything to this coatl that it's working its way up the tube?
It is actually a physical coatl.
It appears to be a physical coatl.
No, you said it's slithering, yes?
It is in a very tight spiral going up. Slither and fly and crawl and climb are almost the same word in the space it's in.
You know what? Yeah. Let's try to thorn whip it out of that little space. Basically try to grab its tail and yank it to us.
Sure. Go ahead and give me an attack roll.
23.
That's a hell of an attack roll. So
8 piercing, and it's yanked 10 feet closer to me.
it is indeed.
I told you I worship no god other than myself.
And as you give a yank, you hear, where'd it go? Ingrates, fools, defilers, and worse. And you now have a coatl pulled out halfway through, thrashing about as it tries to get itself back.
Is it the one that's talking?
It is the one that's talking. And we're gonna pause there for the evening, I think, and pick up with the start of combat with an angry coatl when we come back next time. And this might be a good spot to pull our new folk into as well, having them hear the disturbance below actually, and come to investigate, and we'll see how that plays out, because this one's got a few tricks to it, and it could go into a long combat depending on how things go. Everybody having fun?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. And I will do some recruitment. If anybody happens to speak to anyone who would be interested in joining, please feel free to forward me their information, and we'll give them a chat and see that times match up and such things. Thanks all out there in Twitch. I did see some chatter going back and forth. I didn't get a chance to keep up the whole time.
I know there was a demon dice redeemed.
So we got a demon dice floating around out there. Please make a note that you do have the demon die available to you. And with that, we're going to close down the Twitch stream. Good night, Twitch.
Bye, Twitch.
Good night, Twitch. Was a pleasure.